there is no path out of this. The path out of this is for Mike Lee to drop it, wave the surrender flag, and say, all right, I heard you.
The same MAGA morons who jumped down AOC's neck for the Green New Deal and love to hate tree-hugging, bleeding heart liberals for trying to protect the environment, those same Trumpers are now somehow shocked, flabbergasted to find that their leadership is selling out public lands for the benefit of corporations and billionaires. Here's the headline from Raw Story. Didn't vote for this. Trump voting influencer aghast at MAGA's new plan. I told you so isn't even the half of it. I mean, it is downright hilarious that now, after years of cheering on the destruction of our natural world, now they're coming around to the idea that billionaires don't give a shit about the environment. I've got multiple MAGA influencers to show you, begging their audiences to reach out to their representatives and ask them not to vote for Trump's big, beautiful bill.
All right, guys, so here's the latest on Senator Mike Lee's proposal, amendment, whatever he's trying to do to push in through this bill. And this is not, it's all BS where he says this is a propaganda from the left and misinformation. We're not the left. This is the right. This is people. It's actually both sides of the aisle. It's left and right. Nobody is on board for this land sales bill or the public land sales part of this bill. So yeah, he can say whatever he wants. It's BS. But anyway, let's focus on, he's going to make a big push about this 5 miles within population centers. Like, oh, it's not the pristine. It's not Yellowstone. It's not, the Grand Canyon. This is just right outside of normal population centers. Okay. So what does that mean? To me, that's almost more valuable land than these beautiful parks, just because it's so accessible to everyday Americans. After work, before work, you want to go hike, you want to, ride your mountain bike, you want to shoot your bow maybe, or maybe you just want to get out of the office after a stressful day and just get some fresh air. Well, that's where you do it, right? That's 5 miles right outside of town. Okay, so he wants to develop that supposedly affordable housing, which there's no reference to affordable in this bill. So it's just more BS that they're making up just to try to dupe the regular American people who are at work and don't have time to read who knows how many 1,000-page bill. So we have to trust our politicians, which that can screw us over sometimes. But think about this 5 miles. So they build that out, whatever happens. Well, now the population center has expanded 5 miles. Well, now they can go 5 more miles, right? Because that's the language. It's not defined. It's very vague. They're like, oh yeah, remember the 5 miles from the population center, which is right here? Well, now the line's here, so let's go here. Then go here, then here. And 5 and 5 and 5, and pretty soon, yeah, now we are back to the wilderness. So the point is, it's not defined, it's vague, they want to be able to play games with it. Well, then you'll think, let me see, who's the largest farmland owner in our country? It's Bill Gates. I wonder who Mike Lee's largest donor is. Microsoft. I wonder if that's a coincidence. That seems odd. Okay, so what do? So call your senators, call the numbers I've provided, but also call John Thune from South Dakota. He's a Senate Majority Leader, and he could shit can this. If he hears from enough people, I mean, this is a poison pill for this bill. If Trump wants this big, beautiful bill pushed through, it's not happening with this land sales thing. So let's make sure they know how we feel. They actually don't want to hear from us, but let's get it out there. Let's get to work. Thank you.
It's just so funny to me that these guys are finally coming around to the obvious conclusion that billionaires like Bill Gates have way more sway over our elected officials than we do. Now, I'm not personally into hunting or bow fishing or throwing around tires with other dudes in parking lots like these alpha guys always do, but I'm also on the side of the government not selling our public land for housing developments. And it's hilarious that these conservatives come around only when they're told that they're not allowed to shoot their bow in the public park after work anymore. And if you check the first video that I made about this land sale, I also made the argument that it's actually worse that they're selling the land that's closest to town, because that's the land that's most accessible for people to use casually. No one's going to the top of the mountain on the regular when there's public land 5 miles out of town. And since we last talked about this land sale, the issue has gotten bigger and bigger. and the GOP is largely ignoring it. But that's not going to stop these guys from making videos like this.
And yesterday on the Elk Talk podcast, me and my co-host Corey Jacobson had Congressman Mike Simpson from Idaho on the podcast. And he confirmed that he and Montana Congressman Ryan Zinke are killing this if it gets to the House. And anyone who doubts how Congressman Simpson feels about this, we're going to insert a little clip of that right now that talks about the effort he and Congressman Zinke are putting in to kill this in the House.
We fought to get the proposal out of the House bill. And it's not because, and in the Senate bill, they made it a gazillion times worse. And frankly, if it comes back to the House with that proposal in it, it won't pass the House, because Ryan and I have both told our leadership we can't vote for that.
And last night a message was delivered by Speaker Johnson to Senator Thune in the Senate that he does not have the votes in the House to let this public land package stay in there. We got 2-3 more days of this, folks, and we can kill this. Thank you for what you're doing. You are absolutely just knocking it out of the park. And the fact that I'm getting calls from well-connected people saying, is there any path out of this, tells me that the heat is on. So keep the heat on. There is no path out of this. The path out of this is for Mike Lee to drop it, wave the surrender flag, and say, all right, I heard you. I really did hear you. Instead of just saying he has.
Now, that guy mentioned this letter that was sent to Mike Johnson from representatives in the House who oppose Mike Lee's provision, but it should be noted that there was still a land sale provision in the House version of this bill before it was sent to the Senate. They're trying to put this all on Mike Lee, but they still voted yes on this when it was their original bill. These 5 Republican members of the House said, "We support the big, beautiful bill passed by the House and generally accept changes to the bill that may be made by the Senate. However, we cannot accept the sale of federal lands that Senator Lee seeks. If a provision to sell public lands is in the bill that reaches the House floor, we will be forced to vote no." It seems like these Republicans are starting to wake up to the fact that they're pissing off their MAGA base. These influencer guys are not small potatoes. Here's one of them hawking his book to RFK Jr. when he was invited to the White House, and the other seems to have the ear of his state representative. And I encourage all of us to reach out to our representatives in the Senate, if you live in a red state especially, and tell them that you do not want them to be voting for Trump's big, beautiful bill, specifically because of this land sale provision. If we take advantage of the fact that they're already fielding calls from conservatives over this issue, well, then we could push this into truly being a poison pill that ends up killing this bill. So again, call your representatives, especially if you live in a red state, and make your voice heard. If you like the kind of coverage that, well, in this case, MAGA wants you to see, then you know where to find it, right here at Really American. I'm Tony Hinderman, and I'll catch you next time.